Today I'm going to be talking about book releases that I'm excited for the rest of 2016. And I know this video is like 3 months late. It's already the middle of March, and I meant to do this at the beginning of the year, but oh well. I mean, most of the books I'm anticipating come out later in the year anyway, so it's no big deal. Like, nothing that I'm anticipating has been released yet. And with that, let's get started with the list. These are in no particular order pertaining to release date or which books I'm anticipating the most or anything. They're just all randomly jumbled about. The first book I'm going to talk about is Empire of Storms by Sarah J. Maas. This is book number 5 in the Throne of Glass series, and the title was actually just announced a couple days ago, maybe even last week. I don't know, it was very recent. As always with the Throne of Glass series, it's just amazing. Like, if you haven't started it, please do. It's really good. And I'm just really excited for this 5th installment, although I didn't really like Queen of Shadows, the 4th book, as much, but it was still really good. I rated it 4 stars. And I'm really excited to see where the plot goes, because just like every book is different. Like, if you've read the series, you know every single book is like a completely different story. Like it flows well, but like every book is different. Like, you just don't know what to expect. And its release is slated for September 6th. The next book I'm going to talk about is The Fever Code by James Dashner, and this is the zero point 0.6 prequel to the Maze Runner series. It is slated for a September 27th release, and it follows basically the main characters of the Maze Runner series, like Thomas and Teresa and the Gladers, basically just what happened before the events of the Maze Runner and the whole series. Much unlike the other prequel, which was called The Kill Order, that had nothing to do with them. It was just like random people. In my opinion, it was unnecessary and really boring. So this is like an actual prequel following the actual characters of the series. On one hand, I'm like, okay, like the series is done, it's over, like stop writing books in this world, like it's kind of ridiculous now. But on the other hand, I'm like, I kind of want to know what happened to the characters before the events of the series. So I'm kind of undecided. I'm probably going to read it anyway, whether it be from the library or whatever. I'm just too curious. The next book is Let the Wind Rise by Shannon Messenger, and this is the final book of the Skyfall series. It is set to come out on April 26th, and I'm so excited for this release because I have not read a book from the Skyfall series probably for almost 2 years. I first got into the first 2 books of that series. I like binge read them probably in 2014, I want to say, because I believe one of the books of that series was in my best books of 2014 video. So it's been almost pretty much 2 years since I've read the first 2 books. I really want to read it so bad because the release kept being pushed back, and I'm like, what are you doing? Like, there's this huge cliffhanger at the end of book 2. Like, I need information. And I'm also kind of annoyed that they changed the cover for the 3rd book, because the original covers were completely fine. Like, and now they don't even match. Like, the next book is The Midnight Star by Marie Lu, which is the final book in the Young Elite series. If you've been watching my channel for a while, you would know that I was sort of iffy about the first 2 books of the Young Elite series, except both of them had fantastic endings. Like, the last 100 pages for both of the first 2 books were amazing, and that's the main reason why I've continued this series and why I'm probably going to read the final book. The world is captivating. I'm so interested in the characters and what happens to them, but sometimes the plot of the books just seems to drag on. The Midnight Star is slated for an October 11th release. The next book is Frost Like Night by Sarah Rosh, which is the final book for the Snow Like Ashes series. This book comes out on September 20th, and I haven't even read the second book yet, which is Ice Like Fire, I believe it's called. Well, it's right there behind me. Right there. I mean, I just put it on this list because I'll probably have read Ice Like Fire by the time the final book comes out, so I figured to just put it on this list anyway. The next book is A Million Worlds with You, which is the final book of the Firebird trilogy by Claudia Gray. Again, a final book to a series when I haven't even read the second book, but the first book was A Thousand Pieces of You, which is right there, which was amazing. My number 2 favorite book of last year. So I thought to put this on this list anyway because I would probably most definitely be reading the third book. This comes out November 1st. The next book is Jamina by Amy Kaufman and Jay Kristoff, which is the sequel to Illuminae by Amy Kaufman and Jay Kristoff, which I am currently reading. I've been reading this book since February. I mean, it's pretty big, but so far I'm actually really enjoying it. It's a very creative book. I've been tabbing parts that I've liked. It's just overall one of the most creative and visual books that I've read in a while. And I thought that since I've been enjoying the first book so much that I'd probably pick up Jamina anyway. So it's on this list. Jamina is set to come out on October 18th. And the final book is Tales of the Peculiar by Ransom Rigg. This is a book set in the same world as the Miss Peregrine's Peculiar Children series, but just various different stories about different peculiar children, and they're illustrated, which is really cool. And I thought it was such a cool idea because there's so many things you can do with the peculiar children idea, and this would just seem like a super interesting book to read. And it's set to come out in fall 2016. That's what Goodreads says anyway. It doesn't have a specific date or anything, it just says fall 2016. So hopefully it comes out then. It just seems like a really cool companion novel. So those are basically all the books that I'm anticipating to come out in 2016. What are some of the books that you are anticipating in 2016? Let me know. Are some of mine the same as yours? I don't know, but I'm really excited for these books, and yeah, that's pretty much it for this video, so I will see you next time. Bye!